Morning guys, we're just off to the allotment. It's Saturday the 19th of March 2022 and it's 7 AM. We're up bright and early this morning and the sun is shining. What a beautiful change. It's still a bit nippy but the sun is shining, it's just coming up now. So we're going to head off to the allotment. So we're just on the way up to the allotment now guys. It's only a 5-minute run. So today's video, hopefully, because of the weather, is going to be around getting some citrus trees into that new dry area, and then we're going to make a start on uncovering the beds in the growing area, tidying up that area a bit, and then perhaps we're also going to plant some potatoes. I've got quite a bit to do because tomorrow I'm going to be starting to decorate the bedroom at home, so I need to try and get as much done today as I can, and then well, it's going to take me a while to get the bedroom sorted out. I'm not going to get it done in a day. So next weekend we may or may not have a video. However, there may be one midweek if we continue with the fine weather and I can get up in the evenings after work. We might do a little one midweek, get some little jobs done, and see how it goes, guys. So the first thing we'll do when we get up here is we'll go and pop into the little local shop and grab ourselves some milk for our coffees. And we're nearly there already. Just at the top of this brow. There's a little local shop there. And we turn down onto here. And that's the path that we go up there, guys. So we're going to pop in the shop, sorry about the glare, and then we'll get our milk and then we'll reverse up there to the allotment. Oh my word, guys, what is that big beautiful sight in the sky? It's a long time since we've seen this, and it's lovely and pleasantly warm standing in it. You can see it's still got quite a bit of haze to burn off yet, and the cockerels are doing the job, shouting all over the place on the allotments. Let's get cracking. So we're just in the middle of feeding the chickens up. I'm just looking there, looks like the cockerel has a limp. I'll have to check him out later. I'm not sure, I think it might just be his age, to be honest. I'm not sure there's anything I can do, but we will check him out if I can catch him, just to see if he's okay. All the birds are in feeding on the cradle feeders, and we've got one of them sitting in the nest trying to hatch some eggs, but we've taken them off her. We don't want any hatches just yet. And here we have all the pigeons sitting waiting patiently for the breakfasts, sunning themselves in the aviaries. So we'll move on and get these fed and watered, and then we'll put a bath in the aviary for them so they can have a bath. Right guys, the baths are in and all the birds are going to have a bath. They'll positively enjoy this, then they'll just sun themselves out in the aviaries and dry themselves off. Let's have a quick look in the polytunnel, see what's going on. As you can see, all these are still doing well. It was overwintered. We'll get a, I know I said we're going to do this last week, but we'll get a harvest off these today, and then make a decision whether they're coming out altogether, because we need to start thinking seriously about getting the stuff in these beds, getting them prepped and ready. Garlic's still coming along lovely. So the dwarf kale's doing fine. The lettuce Lola Ross is doing fine. All year round lettuce is up, and I've still got only 3 cauliflowers. So that packet of seeds must be absolutely shot. No good for nothing. They need to go out. Onions, beetroot needing potted on now, guys. The leeks and the other onions, they're coming along nice. Cabbages won't potted on into big pots now. They're doing well. We'll get those potted off into maybe 12-litre pots or something like that. All these onions are doing nice. Best of all, Swede are doing really well. 100% germination. The second sowing of beetroots is about 70% germination. Not too bad. And these pak choys are doing amazing. And the cabbages, they were a little bit, they were gagging for a drink, guys, I've got to be honest, when I came up last night. And we gave them all a drink last night. There's the backups just in case. Still going strong. We need to start thinking about getting the polytunnel tidied out now, guys, and the beds prepped ready for the growing season. So with all this compost here, we'll be using it for potting on some of that stuff, and we'll also hopefully be modifying the treehouse. Right guys, we must start the day with a cup of coffee. So I did manage to catch a cockerel, and we've examined it. I can't see anything wrong with the leg itself. I don't know if he's trapped it or jammed it or jolted it in some way, shape or form. But there's nothing stuck in his foot. It's not swelling up. I don't know. He might have just caught it on something, or he's jolted it in some way. But he's okay. Second thing I noticed was, playing the footage back of the journey on the way up to the allotment, is how rusty my windscreen wipers were. Now they're just a pair of cheapos I put on a couple of years ago, but and they still function, of course, but yeah, a bit unsightly. So we'll look at replacing those as well, guys. Right, so today I've got to try and get as much done as I can, depending on how my energy levels are and how long they last out. But my aim is to get over in the gardening area, and so it's going to be a proper allotment video today, with a bit of luck, and actually getting over into the growing area. And for those who are new to the channel, we'll start off showing you just how big this allotment is. We'll start off in the area that we're in now, with the sheds, all the sheds we have, and the pigeons and the polytunnel. Then we'll move through the chicken pen and show you the size of that. And then we'll move into the garden itself. It's in 3 sections, just so you get an idea of just what size this allotment is. But the garden itself shouldn't take too much to straighten out. I want to get some of the citrus trees out of the tree house now, because it was getting a bit overwhelming, to be honest. They were all in there fine with space, but it was getting a bit cluttered, and I decided I could actually use that as another growing tomatoes, chilies, peppers, lettuces, cabbages, anything at all in basically in the beds. So I thought if I move all the citrus over here now, one, they're likely to get looked after better and not get so neglected, and 2, it'll give me inspiration to go into the treehouse for regular watering for the other plants. And then thirdly, it just gives me that bit of extra growing space, guys. So a lot to do, and if I get time, I may or may not plant some potatoes today, depending on how much I get done. And then if I don't get them done today, we might get a few in early morning tomorrow before we start the decorating, or leave it till next weekend and put them in then. It isn't a big deal. I normally put them in the third week of March as a rule anyways, which would be next weekend technically speaking. But I know the weather can be deceiving. We've got some nice weather today. Next week could be gale force winds again, although it's not forecasted. And we could have frosts, and I'm conscious we do get frost up here right through till April. So thankfully in the past, planting potatoes on the third week of March, as a rule, yes, once or twice they've poked their heads above the ground and I've got caught out with the frost, but it didn't actually do the potatoes any harm, to be honest with you. A little bit of damage on the foliage, but it didn't affect the potato harvest at all. I'm going to shut up babbling. I've got a lot to do. I'll catch you later, guys. Right, guys, as you can see, we're in the growing area now. The dry area, sorry. We've been over the polytunnel. We've got ourselves a selection of citrus trees here and a peach tree, if you can just see it in this corner, in full bloom, pink bloom. And I've got to tell you, I'm a massive fan of these twin slot brackets. I used them in this shed in here to make a quick shelf, and they really do make quick shelves. And I had some new timber that was lying about in the polytunnel over in the treehouse as well. Just a couple of inch thick by 4 inch thick battens, and you can screw to them, as you can see. And we set up this bench on here, and when I got the trees up, they were blocking quite a lot of light out, and it just didn't look right. But what I'm going to show you now is just how universal these benches are. Now, the metal frame, the metal brackets and strips on the back can work out pretty expensive if you need quite a number. However, I think the strips work out about £2.50 for the length that I've got, and I think the brackets were £3 each or something like that. And I did get quite a number, and I've got more on the way because I'm such a fan of this. They just make life so much easier when you're making shelving, guys. So here is the universal beauty of these. Because I don't like the height that this is now sitting at, we simply tilt it, lift it back off. I worked out it wanted to be 5 slots up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get this right. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where we want to be. 2, 3, 4, 5. And that one should just fall into line. 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. That's now the height that I want this at. We also, yesterday we went down and we got ourselves some of these grow bag trays, which just happen to fit perfectly on here, beautifully. And they actually sit in the gaps of the pallet if I wanted to push them all the way back, but I want them balanced out, basically. So that's one of the lemon trees that we got from Aldi, now up here. It's much warmer in here than it is in the polytunnel as well, guys. I might even have to start looking at putting some ventilation in here. But we'll see how it goes, because we can just open these 2 doors and get a draft through. So that's one of the lemon trees. Actually, still got its lemons on. Next, we have a grapefruit. And we have had a grapefruit off this last year. A very big one. As yet, it hasn't put any flowers on. Time yet. So we've got a nice grapefruit. Oh, that's a much better height. They've got plenty of room to go. Lovely level for watering. They're not blocking as much light out now. They're still getting the sun, as you can see. I'm happy chappy. Next in the list is a lime tree. And this came when I bought this from a company called U Garden, and I think Keith had commented on the citrus trees last week, and we gave him a recommendation, just because if I'm happy with a company, I don't mind sharing my experience. Likewise, I have a video that shows an horrendous experience I had with another company, and we highlighted that on another video. So this is the lime tree. This actually came with about 20 full-size limes on it, and we used them last year. They were lovely. As yet, still to come into flower. They usually start coming into flower within the next 4 weeks or so. if they're going to come into flower. They don't always, but there we go. So another couple of things. There must have been some slugs on the bottom of these as well, because I found, by the way, these were all potted up into 12 litre pots, with the exception of the 2 new ones I got. And I noticed whilst these were standing here, I've checked the other ones, by the way, we've got a slug in there, so we'll just get rid of that. It won't be a moment, guys. Right, we've got rid of that. So you can see I've only used 3 brackets and 3 angle irons for this 8 foot plus space. And I can even get another one in there if I move these over. Slide that right to the end. But you can see how strong these brackets are as well, guys. I probably could sit on that, but I'm not going to go that far. But that also leaves me space. Get a nice big planter in there as well, a watering saucer to get something on there. Anyways, I'm babbling now, aren't I? That's just to give you an idea of what I'm going to be doing. Now just down here I've got the angle brackets on the back wall, and I've got the set at the right height, so I just need to cut some more of this timber that's down here on the floor to make that shelf. Then we can put some across the back. I just want to take you over and show you one of the peach trees that I brought earlier. Sorry about the movement on the camera, guys. I just want to show you this. So here we have one of the dwarf peach trees in full bloom. They're absolutely beautiful when they come into bloom, these peach trees. And then all we do is we get a little paintbrush. They're self-fertile, but you can just get your finger or a little painter's brush and start pollinating these. Now we didn't get any off this last year because I neglected it. Oh, we forgot to water, but I wasn't very well last year, so hopefully this year will be a different ball game altogether. And now I've got my camera tripod stuck. So, quick look at the actual citrus trees themselves. So, here we have a lemon bursting into flower and with lemons on, as you can see. Then we have the grapefruit, not in flower yet. And we have a dwarf lime. Moving on, we have an orange tree. Then we have the other Aldi, lemon with some lemons on, starting to flower again. And again, we've got this mandarin starting to flower. So yeah, that's enough of that, guys. I need to go and get cracking. Catch you later, guys. 13 degrees in here now, guys. It's cool, it's just nice. On hot days it's going to be cool, so that's good. And in the polytunnel we're now on 21 degrees. Like that. So I just want to finish off today's video, or rather this video, as I say again, with some information on citrus trees, if it's something you'd like to do at your allotment, and around some care. And a couple of things to note in particular with peach trees. If you don't already know, peaches and nectarines, they're susceptible to a disease called peach leaf curl, which can kill the trees. So when these trees are in bloom like this, they should never ever get the canopy wet. So you can't really grow them outside. Although some people on YouTube have made all sorts of makeshift canopies to cover them and planted them in the ground outside with success. I am toying with that idea later in the year, but I'm not. I need to do some more research, guys. But for now, they need to be protected, and you can't get rain on them. Basically, it's only at a certain time of the year, I'm led to believe. But I've took no gambles for now. So if you're thinking of getting peaches or nectarines, or any of the peach family, with the exception, so the apricots can grow outside. As you've seen, I had the apricot outside, and they're fine, and so can the pomegranates. There's a lot of things you can grow outside. You could even plant the lemons outside. However, you'd need to protect them with fleece or something in winter. And it would involve a lot of protection in winter months. Excuse me. They're good down to -5 inside a polytunnel. And they don't particularly like it, but they will survive, as you can see. They have. And around citrus trees, you want to give them a good soaking like this, so the soil is nice and wet, and you want them to drain extremely well. So they need a good watering. But in winter months, I've found I don't usually need to water oranges, lemons, limes and mandarins. Maybe twice over a winter period, but in summer they do like a good drink. And because the surface dries out, I'm going to mulch these with some bark chippings to protect the glare and sun from drying them out from the top surface. But this year I'm going to water them from the bottom in the trays and just put enough in so they can draw up what they need. And hopefully we'll have even better results this year. As I said, they were neglected last year, guys. They were neglected. And as you can see, they're extremely hardy. They have basically thrived in spite of my neglect. Right, and of course we need to have another cup of coffee. Can't do a final roundup without a cup of coffee. Right, guys, I hope you've found today's content a little more interesting than some videos. Some people like the DIY project videos, some like the pigeon videos, and some like the just the gardening videos. And of course I understand everybody has different likes and dislikes. I try to cater for everybody if I can, basically. As I said, there is still a diesel heater fitment installation, and it'll probably be a full review of the diesel heater installation. It might be spread out over 2 videos, I don't know yet, to see how it goes. And that's going to be put into here because it's lovely and cool in here. You get 22 degrees down in the polytunnel, and outside it's probably about 18, 19, so it's not bad. So this shed has a good benefit in that it keeps you cool in summer and somewhere to come and shade when you get too hot. And we have battery operated fans that can keep the place cool as well. And in winter it can get down a bit chilly in here, so hence the diesel heater installation and or wood burning stove in the other side. Again, that's potentially another project down the line, guys, for the year. I've babbled on for long enough. I'll try and put you some links down in the description to other videos that you might find of some interest. And that's pretty much it for now. Hope you enjoy the next video as well. Don't forget to like, dislike, subscribe, or leave a comment in the sections below, guys. It really does keep me motivated in providing content for you guys. Subscription's still going up nicely, and if it's your first time here, do think about hitting that subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon, select all. It'll alert you every time I put up a new video, and you can follow me along. For now, guys, wherever you are in the world, please do stay safe, be practical, keep yourselves out of harm's way, and thanks for watching.